Hey guys, because of delays, the trucks, hub motor truck, the Success P2 battery, the charger, lithium charger, you can see it right here. This is the charging port for the lithium ion charger. Some razors, some truck razors to lift up the truck a little bit. These are, I believe, 1/8. Yeah, 1/8 razors. I'll show you the sticker to all of them. This is the ESC with the controller. This isn't the ESC that you can program or anything. It's the basic one. I'll probably get the programming one if I ever want to change the remote. Use the charger. I don't know if you can see that. Here's the box that it came in. It looks like there was a delay for like about a month delay because I bought it around March 5th or so. And there was a month delay because of the coronavirus and all that. They probably got some of their equipment or whatever from China, because I think that they get their batteries from China. Because I remember I emailed them and they told me that they did have problems, but they didn't tell me it was from the batteries. I'm assuming, because when I asked her if they still have batteries, she said they were sold out of batteries, but they were still doing pre-orders online. So yeah, it took about a month to get here. A little less than a month, but yeah. So I'm thinking of putting all of this together on the Pennyboard. This is a 22-inch Pennyboard. This is really old. I got this like around 2013, 2014 maybe. And this one I bought it for like $10 off of some random guy on the Let Go app, and I put some new trucks on it. Some new trucks I basically got on the exact app, except I got a whole set for $40. It was the same exact thing, except it was a newer glow-in-the-dark board. But this board, I bought it even before that. So I'm thinking of taking those screws out, putting them in there, this one, and then putting those trucks on and mounting the battery with the ESC under it. And all I need to do is buy something that can hold it down and screw in like a little box or something, maybe some sort of Tupperware or something, because on their website they sell, but the dimensions don't match it. And I'll give you guys in the description, I'll tell you the exact length and width and height of the Pennyboard of the trucks. These are 70 millimeter, so they might look a little funny compared to the, let me show you. Yeah, they're gonna be really huge compared. It's gonna look a little funny, but it's gonna be much more stable. But if I go too fast, I'm gonna feel some wobbling, and that's when you don't wanna continue going fast, because you'll just gotta bail out and destroy your face probably. So what I did to buy the parts that I needed for the electric Pennyboard, I went on Boards, right here, first link. It's confusing seeing all of this at once, because then you don't know what the hell you're doing basically. So you would click the first part. That's where he makes it really easy, the person who developed the website. Right here, kit builder, start your build. And between these three, this one is a belt driven motor, which basically means that there's a small motor. It should be a little more than 3 inches like in diameter or so. That's way too big for a Pennyboard, because it's just going to be under the tail, either under the tail or on the sort of like in front of the truck, which is in the middle of the deck. And obviously you don't want something that big to be rattling around, especially with a belt, sort of like a small type of belt thing that wraps around that piece, I'm guessing. And it has another piece that mounts it onto the truck. And that creates the forward motion in order to move the entire deck. They're much cheaper than the other options, but it's not ideal for a skateboard of that size because it's way too small. You want to have something like this on a longboard or maybe even a normal skateboard. This is the one I have. This is a hub motor and this is a direct drive. The difference between these two and this one is that for this one you can use any types of trucks as long as they like are big enough to fit that motor. But you can also change the wheels for that one, and that's just a motor. It doesn't show you the trucks there. These are the trucks. This one is hub motor, and the motor is built within the wheels. This is a dual hub motor, by the way. This one has two motors as well. The difference is you could switch out the wheels. These are way more expensive. We could see right here. So price for the belt motor. Okay, right here. Comes out to, see how cheap it is? Comes out to $85. This one's probably much more powerful, you can see. This is the cool thing about this website. It actually tells you like everything you need to know. And here, if you want to buy doubles, so I'm guessing it would go one on like the left side of the wheel and the other one on the right side of the wheel, of the back wheels. You see? For this one, which is the one I have, I chose the 7mm hub motor because 90mm is way too big. It's just gonna look ridiculous on my, and look at the front truck. That's ridiculous. Imagine that on a small skateboard or a pennyboard, basically. And look at the price. And now, before I continue, let me show you the direct drives. Way more expensive. If you have the money, go for it, because you'll be able to change out the wheels, and changing the wheels will increase the speed and even the feeling of, because the only problem I have with the hub motors is that I could feel like every crack, every pebble that I run over, and it's a little annoying. You get used to it, but what I do to avoid it is I just ride in the street, like flat ground, instead of going on the sidewalks and all of that. So yeah, and these are the pieces to customize. Well, not customize, but so that you can fit any wheel onto it. Oh, it says right here, wheel adapter. So now let's continue with mine. So again, I'm choosing hub motors, dual 7mm hub motor, comes out to that much. I chose the least amount, the not least amount, but the lowest battery voltage, because I don't need anything like too crazy. This one, it says 18 to 20 miles per hour, but I'm assuming that's top speed because I've only gone between 10 and 13, and that's on a full charge on flat ground. But going down a hill, going down a hill, I reach 13. Going flat ground, I've reached 10 to 11. So maybe it's because the pennyboard is pretty small, and I'm not that heavy. I'm about 160 pounds, say 165 pounds, and I'm not that tall. I'm just 5'7", and my foot size that fits on the Pennyboard. Pennyboard is 22 inches, and my shoe size is 11. So if you're much taller, and much heavier, obviously your top speed is gonna be like very. Right here, I chose the 6S 2P, which basically means the mileage, says it right here. It goes 10 to 12 miles range. I've gone, my battery probably starts draining after maybe half those miles. So I don't know, it mostly depends because I mostly go up hills and stuff. So it depends on the area where you live. And again, since mine's is dual hub motors, which is this option and this one. Since mine's is dual hub motors, which means 2 motors in the back trucks on each wheel, 2 motors. You can see from those 2 wires coming out. You want to choose the dual motor set because, and this is the ESC, that just basically means the brain of the whole machine, or the whole vehicle, you could call it. I almost bought this one accidentally, but then it says it clearly right here, but I didn't read that at the time. So I was so close to buying it, then I realized it's right here, single. You don't want to get the single, obviously. You want to get the dual. Oh yeah, these, by the way, these are more, it's the same thing basically, but these are more customizable. So you could like, you obviously need your own like controller. These come with the controllers. And for these, you get your own controller, you customize it or whatever, program it to different types of controls. So again, dual motor. The enclosures, I did the measurements, and this one was, I think, about 11 to 10-ish inches, 11 to 10 inches maybe, which is the smallest one. I didn't buy it because like you saw on the earlier, that I got a pencil case and I just cut it up to fit it. It's obviously not going to be a permanent thing, but it'll do for now until the world stops ending from COVID-19. But yeah, for now, it's up to you whether if you're going to do it on the Pennyboard. I recommend not getting it because it won't fit, because in the middle, the gap between the 2 trucks, it's not long enough. So it's only about, I want to say 11 inches maybe, or 10.5 inches. So you want to get something that's much smaller than that, or just do what I did, get a pencil case, cut it up, and stick everything in it. So in this case, I'm not clicking that option. And for all of these, I chose the 1/8 razor pads. Pretty cheap, not too expensive. The skate hardware, that is probably the screws and the bolts that you need to tie down the trucks, but I basically used the same ones that came with the Pennyboard, so it wasn't any problem. And then add it to cart, and that's the total. All right, guys, this is the whole layout. One thing to know is the rear trucks have 2 motors in them, and the wires stick out the opposite side. So you want to put it with the kingpin, which is this nut basically, going downward. And then for this one, you put it like a normal skateboard. You want to make sure that you have the 2 razors, so you would put that under with the normal skateboard screws and bolts. You get that at any skateboard shop. The ESC is a dual hub motor ESC. because it has, since this has 2 motors in them, they basically connect to each side. It comes with the controller, which is pretty cool. And all you would need is a casing to basically just put everything in. Well, all I would need is a small casing for the Pennyboard. This is a 22-inch Pennyboard, by the way. It's not the nickel board, which is 27 inches. That one, I wanted a small one so I could fit on my book bag. And one other thing to know is these have an automatic on and off. They still gave me a on button. I don't think it's necessary, but yeah, it says supposedly as soon as you start moving, it turns on by itself. I have these bags here because I didn't have nothing to bolt down the pencil case that I made into basically a holder for the battery and the ESC. And I put the battery in the little bubble wrap thing that it came with, and I cut some holes in it. I don't know if you can see right there. Cut some holes in it, a bunch of holes, so I could breathe at least. And the ESC, I didn't wrap it, I just like layered it top to and bottom, so I had to provide some cushion. This is just temporary, but it looks horrible, I know that, but look, I just want to show you guys. The bottom truck is placed with the kingpin on the opposite side, and that's how you put longboards. That's how you set up the longboard. And the top truck is set up like a normal skateboard, so the kingpin inside. So if this kingpin was on the inside and this one was the inside, that would be a skateboard. And a longboard would be both kingpins on the outside, but in the video I watched, he put the kingpin, the first truck with the kingpin inside like a skateboard, and then the rear truck with the kingpin outside because the wires are sticking out this way. And I realized that that is giving me a problem, that when I turn this way, sort of like on the normal Pennyboard, like I'm putting all my weight to the left, and when you put your weight to the left, your trucks should help you turn left, but instead, both my trucks, not just either one, but both, they tend to turn opposite. So turning left will make my trucks turn right, therefore making my movement right. And then when I turn to the right, my trucks turn left. You see how weird that is? But it should be here. When I turn them backwards, it does it like a normal skateboard should. I turn left, trucks move left. You see that? I turn right, trucks move right. So in order to fix that, I'm gonna see what happens if I flip over the truck. I managed to take out the screws and I flip the front truck upside down, or the other way. Turn that off. And you see, ball outward, ball outward. This one was ball outward and this one was ball inward. Look. Now when I step on it and I turn, look, the truck actually moves in the direction I want it to. So right now I'm leaning over to the left and the trucks are actually moving to the left. This one, for the back one, trucks are moving to the right, but it looks like what's the most important would be the front trucks, because now it actually rides normal. I'm gonna show you guys how to turn it on. So I made holes inside the pencil case that I had. I basically cut it up. You can probably see right here. I cut it up just to fit the battery. I taped it so it could close. This is temporary, by the way. I made a bunch of holes. I didn't know I was gonna put tape, so I put a bunch of holes so it could just breathe if it gets hot or whatever. And turns out the hole that I made ended up fitting the power button sort of almost perfectly, and the charging port. And these things I got at the 99-cent store. I just tied it, just a hold. It's not secure at all or anything, but it gets the job done. Oh, so to turn it on, you would first, let me show you how it looks when this is off and this is on. So it literally just click it and it turns on really fast. And look, there's no battery indicator or anything. So as soon as you turn it on, it's gonna make a little sound, like a little beep sound. I don't know if you can see, but inside there's 2 red lights. And then here, connected. And the cool thing about this controller, this is the controller that connects to the ESC. So it tells you how much battery life you actually have. So that's really cool. Look at this. I'm already down to the, this is probably 75%. So it's connected. And to switch in between the speeds, you would just click this quick. Right now, this is top speed. That's around 10 miles an hour. This is the lowest speed. That's like 5 miles, 6 miles an hour. This one's at around 7. Here's around 9-ish. And then here would be 10. You could say almost 11, 13, 12 miles an hour. But I know this is not as fast as 15 miles an hour. I know that for a fact because it's a 24 volt and 24 volts or 21.6, I guess, volt machines or whatever you call them, electric, whatever. They mostly go from 10 miles an hour. And then depending if you're going down a hill, then yeah, it's possible 15 miles an hour. But realistically, on flat ground, you're gonna be going 10 miles an hour with a 21 to 24 volt system type of thing. If it was 36 volt, then I could be going 15 miles an hour. But that's how it looks. Let me show you. This is the lowest speed. This is a little higher. And then to stop it, the brake would be down. So let's say you're going fast, the brake. For reversing, you would press the reverse button for like 2-3 seconds. And it turns red. And it would go in the opposite direction. There's different speeds for reverse. And to set it back, you hold. This is how it looks when it's moving. So, lowest speed. You reverse it. And this switch is pretty sensitive. So if you wanted to go all the way, it would look like this. Right now I just stopped it when I pressed down. And if you wanted to go a little bit slower, you would just, it's pretty sensitive. This would be, this is a little bit faster, let's see. Oh wait, it went backwards, hold on. Okay. Bring it back. Much faster. And yeah, you get the point. So to turn it off, you would just hold for about 2 seconds. And there you go. And to turn it off, I always shut it off, even though it would shut off if you don't move it or anything. It shuts off on its own after like 30-20 seconds. But I just do it just to save some battery. Look, this is what happens when the battery is really low. It starts flashing. And eventually it'll cut off, but I think I'm around like 80%, 90%.